Hello, you're listening to Nick Needs to Know, the podcast. Join me as I have open, honest and relatable conversations around careers, mindsets and life in general, and what that looks like for each one of our different guests. Welcome to a special episode of Nick Needs to Know. Today we're stepping out of the studio and into the heart of an allotment where we'll be joined by the incredible Josh Clarke. He's not only cultivating plants but also making a significant impact on veterans' lives. You can follow Josh on Instagram at veterans_allotment and connect with him on LinkedIn at Joshua Clarke. Get ready for an inspiring conversation as we explore Josh's remarkable work, his own experiences and the powerful stories from the allotment. Thanks for listening and I hope you enjoy. Right, Josh.
Right.
On the allotment today.
Yeah.
Got me digging already.
Yeah.
I'm already breaking a bit of a sweat.
Give it a bit more time, you'll be in a bit more than a bit of a sweat.
Well, there's a reason we're here today.
Yeah.
What is that reason?
So, I decided a couple of months ago that I wanted to set up an allotment for veterans. Because there's loads of breakfast mornings. I don't ever have any problems with them. I think they're brilliant. But a lot of veterans spent most of their careers outside. So they like the outside. Yeah. Getting people out. And that's exactly what I want to do with this allotment. Getting veterans together, having a chat, checking how everyone is. Not like in depth with how they are, just having a chat. How are they? Like we are now. Yeah. No too in depth. Just asking how they've been, how's the week been, and that's it. And
what made you come up with this idea then?
Well, ironically, I was at a customer's house, and she said her son proper loves gardening, and it helped him after he left the forces with his PTSD. And I just thought, do you know what? That's not a bad shout. Why not? And
bit of a light bulb moment.
Yeah. And I've wanted to find something that can help veterans, but I've just never had that. Do you know what? That's it. And when I heard that, I thought, do you know what? That's not a bad shout.
Yeah.
And so from there, I then got on emails trying to figure out how to get it. And shockingly, it only took me 2 days from first email to being shown where my allotment was. And then a few more days to when I got the keys.
2 days is pretty rapid, isn't it, Josh?
Oh, yeah. Well,
I was saying to you earlier when I applied for one from where I live.
Yeah.
And it's like a 2-year waiting list minimum.
Yeah. Yeah. I was lucky because I kind of also, I got the local MP involved.
All right.
Which kind of does help. People kind of listen to you a bit more when you get, people like that involved. And yeah. To be honest, she's been quite actually good for me because she's finally got it so my work van can go to the tip.
Also, she's got your permit for dump.
Yeah. Because it's classed as commercial, that's the biggest problem that I've been having. And it's a bit hard to get a lot of stuff in a Ford Fiesta.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. Well, you've seen down bottom bit.
And looking around it, there's quite a bit of stuff to get rid of, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
It's like you says, it's been the dumping ground, hasn't it, of the
past 5 years.
Of the rest of the allotment.
Yeah, and it's a slow work in progress, but you can't got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
And this is my somewhere.
And this bit we're digging up now, it's quite a big area, isn't it?
Yeah, it's.
What are you planning on doing with this bit?
So, this bit's mainly going to be for planters, so where all the food's going.
Yeah.
Because the food isn't actually going for me or the veterans. It's going for families in the local community that are struggling, giving like fresh food to families who, you know, can't. That bit of money helps them. That couple of quid, they can spend a couple of quid on something that they need more than tomatoes, broccoli, potatoes, turnips. Like I said, there's enough room on here for 30 planters.
Wow.
And it's not including some of the other crazy ideas I've got for making space.
Go on then, share some crazy ideas with me. I love a crazy idea.
I want to do vines for strawberries.
All right.
And get it so basically walk through a vine of strawberries.
Wow.
Don't know if it's feasible yet, but you've got to have a go.
All starts with an idea, Josh.
Oh God, it definitely does.
I can see your vision though. I can see it looking around.
Yeah.
You know, you can visualise where stuff's going and ideas that we spoke about before we started recording. Yeah. You can see it all because you've got a couple of sheds on here as well, what used to be used as pigeon huts.
Yeah.
They've got to go on there.
Yeah, they've got to go because can't serve food and drinks out of it. Even how much people on the allotment says it's fine. I'm not game for potentially getting people ill coming to my allotment.
Yeah, so it's a hygiene thing.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So serving food and stuff, what's that going to entail then? Is it for like veterans and stuff like that?
So
come to work here.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at getting once I'm hopefully aiming for Fridays. It's Friday's a day off.
Yeah.
And spending 4 or 5 hours up here with veterans. And then depending on how it goes, potentially open it night. Obviously, we won't be able to open it at night in winter. Head torches will be a bit hard to see everything.
Well, yeah, night time starts at about 2 o'clock in winter, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, especially up in Yorkshire.
Yeah. Yeah.
So winter, not only opening it up on Fridays, summer's going to be full Fridays and potentially one day through the week. Just got into some very dark places where if you want for set few individuals plus my wife, I don't know where I'd be today.
Wow.
And that's kind of why I'm doing it all, trying to, if you can help one person, why not try and help them?
You think going through them sort of things yourself made you realise that there's more people suffering out there?
Without a doubt, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even I went down to a place where I'm going to actually give all the food, and it was a Friday morning. I was there at 7:30. I was like to be early, and I didn't open till 9. So I just sat on iPad doing extra stuff that I needed to do. You just saw queue. 7:30 in the morning. Didn't open till 9, and there's a massive queue.
What's this? Is this a food bank? Is it?
Sort of. It's a community shop.
Yeah.
Where it the food's a lot cheaper because it's got a shorter shelf life.
Yeah.
And they just like help all the families that are on benefits and families who are struggling, and they've done like events for the kids. And it was just like, in this day and age, how come this many people needing this support?
It's a bit of an eye opener for you.
Yeah.
Seeing all that.
Yeah, we've got one of the biggest countries in the world.
Yeah.
And got people queuing up early in the morning just so they can get food to feed their families. And it wasn't just young families or middle-aged families. You saw elderly there. And it's just like...
Yeah.
I mean, this day and age, with how big this country is, can there be that many people needing that many support? And yeah, but it's an amazing thing what that place does. It's not just there for the food, it runs activities for kids. And I just wanted this place to be something that has all the community involved, not just veterans. I know it's designed, aimed towards veterans, but a lot of the planters I'm going to get, they're all going to be painted by the kids from there. There's another place on here that does stuff for kids. I'm going to speak to them about getting them to paint them. When school's back in, I'm going to potentially go get kids to paint them. So I want as much of the communities, the kids involved as possible. So, you know,
it kind of raises future awareness as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doing things like that.
Yeah. So, like, when I was looking at doing this, I love statistics. Oh, it's brilliant. You can prove a lot with statistics. And in Wakefield area, there's 4.9% of people are veterans. So there's 300 and some thousand people in Wakefield.
Yeah.
So and
4.9%
of them are veterans. Yeah. I don't just in this place. I don't just want like the elderly veterans. I want everyone, different age groups.
So how long were you in army for then, Josh?
Around about 6 years before I got injured. And
serious injury?
I fell down a hill at my back. But my back were already playing up dodge a bit before that.
Was this in the army or?
Yeah, so I was on a promotion course and fell downhill, smashed my back on boulder, did my back in, and also damaged my shins. So I went from being quite a physically fit person to can't run anymore. I can't do much of what I used to do. So that's kind of...
Like medically discharged then?
On paper, yeah, but it was packed end. It's a different version of medical discharged. It's unfit for military service due to medical injuries, not medical discharged, which I'm still protesting because it's what support you get's different.
What support did you get when you had your injuries?
When I left, I got a bit of a payout and a resettlement package, which I was quite stupid because I didn't properly use it, and I can't now because it's past the experience at the time. And
what did the resettlement package involve then?
I think we're about 30 days leave where you can go and get go on courses, and then the funding to pay for a fair few courses.
So was this all for educational purposes and work purposes?
Yeah, but because I was quite lucky falling into the job that we're in right now, because I went to a job fair for armed forces, and I was like, oh, I've applied for this job, they've rejected me due to where I live. And the guy went, oh, well, let's have a look. 2 minutes later, I got a phone call. Are you all right for an interview? I went, all right, yeah, sound. I'll go for an interview. Yeah. And, that's how I ended up getting this job, just kind of pure luck. Just asking anyone.
Just going back on leaving forces.
Yeah.
And having to go from such a set way of a lifestyle to basically having to change overnight what you did and how you live and stuff.
Yeah.
You said you got support financially because you got a payout. You got offered a support package for work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What sort of support did they offer you for like your mental well-being?
I didn't get much.
Yeah.
I know, because if you served you get more quicker service for mental health issues.
Yeah.
So when I did my first time struggling with my mental health, I did get support quite quickly. But this is actually something that me and a few people spoke about before, that there's no transition programme.
No.
They do a workshop, but they don't show a workshop from being military life to being civilian life, because you go from being told you're here at this time with this bit of equipment and that's all you need to be.
Yeah.
So, well, now you need to start paying your council tax, your rent, your heating, electrics, and I'm like, I ain't got a clue. But quite lucky that the wife does. She's all over that, which I wish I were more helpful with, but I just don't get it, and I think it's more me just saying, well, she's good at it, I'll leave it to her.
Yeah.
Which I wish I did, which I don't, but it's one of them. But yeah, it's bit by bit. I'm learning more stuff.
Do you think you did suffer once you'd left mentally?
So, I did, but the thing was, I didn't miss the job, because the job was good, but were the lads you missed.
Yeah.
The being...
camaraderie and stuff.
Yeah. 6 in a corridor, all doors open, being able to speak to anyone at any point. So, before we bought our house, I moved back to my parents' house.
Yeah. So
I finished work, I'd go gym to what limited stuff I could do, and I then went, sit in my bedroom, playing on games. And it's like, I've gone from being able to speak to anyone at any point to just speaking to my wife when do I call at night, and that was quite a big thing. That I know a lot of lads and lasses who served miss the lads and lasses, because you know that they're always going to have your back, they're always going to be there at any point. I don't know if you're aware, we've got our armed forces network where we work, and
yeah,
for me that would a big help, because you can speak to people who been in the same boat as you.
Get you.
Yeah.
Understand it.
Knows exactly what you mean by certain stuff, and when you talk, they don't think you're an absolute idiot.
Yeah.
Which, what lie sometimes a lot of people do for me.
Does that give you a bit of anxiety, that? I'm guessing it would, because it would me if I were worried about how I'm acting or what I'm saying is going to... Some of the people I'm talking to are not going to understand it. It'd probably give me a bit of anxiety, that.
So, for me, like a lot of people don't know, I've got a stammer.
Yeah.
Which I'm quite good at masking. Okay. But I have times where I can go from being able to speak days without stammering.
Yeah.
So, as one customer said, not nastily, it sounds like when you see the DJ spin the decks.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she were deaf, so she could only lip read. It's just like, when I hear you talk, it sounded like you're a DJ. And I'm like, better one, love. But yeah, it were. So I have to think a lot about what I'm saying.
Is that to try and mask?
Yeah. Like, I'll go from speaking really quick because I know what I'm going to say next. So I don't know what I'm going to say next, and I'm just like, oh God, what do I say next?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, and then I'll start stammering. A lot of the times it's usually worse on phone. That's sometimes when it really does play up a bad.
Yeah.
But
I suppose if you're trying to constantly think about not what you're going to say next, but in your case, like probably how you're going to say it.
Yeah.
It's be hard to listen to what the other person's saying to you.
Yeah. It's. I'm lucky that because I got my stammer when I found out I was leaving the armed forces, because.
All right, so it's a fairly recent sort of diagnosis. Then.
6 years, 7 years I've had it, and for me it was. I just got so stressed and not knowing what was going to happen next, going from something that I thought I'd spend the rest of my life doing, because I loved it and I was good at it. I was really good at it. As
well, most people join forces for that exact reason, don't they? It's a job for life, isn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt. And I were back just before I left. I were looking after because all my battalion had gone on deployment to Estonia, so I was looking after the fleet's vehicles for the comms equipment side by myself. Technically, I should have had help, but the help were non-existent, so I was just looking after all the vehicles as a private soldier, looking after 65 armoured vehicles and a signal store for a company that was still going on exercises. So I loved it. That's what we're good at.
Yeah.
And then I just went from that to not knowing what we're going to do next. My entire life turned upside down, being told, sorry, the army kind of don't want you anymore. You've served your use. And that's...
Do you have any sort of resentment towards the army for that?
No.
Or do you understand why it happened?
I understand why the army did what they did, because every soldier in the army is under a PID. And if you're in a PID where you're never going to be deployed, you're never going to be able to be any service on operations, in the nicest way, what's the use for you in the armed forces?
Yeah.
And I understand why they did that. There's only certain few individuals in the army that I did have a bit of resentment towards, just because of how they led, how they spoke to people, how they threw power around.
Yeah.
It was more the officers' side, because I can't think of one bad platoon sergeant I had. They were brilliant. They were back up till cows come home.
So do you wish you had something like this when you come out?
Yeah, something just to get me out of the house. I like my gym, which I was still doing, but I would a cycle.
Yeah.
Work, gym, home. Maybe the cheeky takeaway, which I'm not partial to. But other than that, it was just like a cycle of every minute of the day. It was just me knowing where I was going to be next, because I kind of didn't have much. I had my partner, and a lot of the lads I served, we were still based down in Warminster, so down near Bath. So we went. A lot of the lads I'd speak to, didn't speak to them that much anymore, because a lot of lads have said it's the same as me, that when you leave, you kind of lose touch with all the lads and lasses that you did serve with.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I've kind of never actually thought about that. Might be just this work schedule. A lot of them can go like overseas for 3 months, and I've actually thought about that.
Do you think there might be some sort of element of what you don't know don't hurt you sort of thing?
Yeah.
Like if you're missing that sort of life, or you're scared to miss it.
Yeah.
By finding out what they're up to and what they're doing, and
yeah, never thought about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I said, you do miss lads and lasses so much, and amazing bunch of people. But you know, a lot of the times you can ring them, and like I randomly rang one of the lads by mistake a couple of months ago, and we ended up having like an hour and a half chat, and it's like, well, fair one.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Look, just to clarify, I wanted work time. It would have I know I'm sometimes a bit slow on jobs. I'm taking an hour and a half to make a random...
Josh is on phone again, randomly.
Yeah. You won't believe this, boss. Yeah.
So back to this allotment then. What sort of timescale do you think you're looking at to get this up and running?
January.
So pretty soon then, isn't it? So it sounds like it's going to be a bit more than just an allotment, isn't it? It's going to be a bit of a venue sort of thing, isn't it? With your food you've got going and teas and coffees and summer house. And you mentioned earlier, didn't you, about having like a...
competitions.
Yeah, your competitions, but you had a tree that got stolen, didn't you?
Yeah, so right now my allotment's not got much in it to steal, so I ain't got much priority to sort out the door, because currently we've just got a red door that's got about a foot gap to the other side, so anyone can walk in. Hopefully one day someone walks in and goes, do you know what, I'll get all this cleaned for him. I'm waiting for that day. That'll be the day.
They have someone at my house like that, mate. I go to bed, mate. House is a shit tip, and I get up in the morning and someone's broken and cleaned up.
Ironically,
clothes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's on a video.
Sometimes do me washing as well.
Well, I do the ironing at house. That's nicest way. Love my wife, but don't want her ever to do any ironing. It's not a specialty.
And I reckon that's a forces mentality, that is it? Yeah.
It's me definitely doing the ironing.
Yeah. And what does your wife think to all this, then? She's supportive of it?
She is. My only problem was I kind of came up with this idea and started it without telling her.
All right.
Considering it's first year of marriage...
You're just setting your stall out, aren't you?
Yeah, I probably should have told her. Yeah, she has said a few times, you probably could have told me before you thought about... Because she's like, it's not a small thing, it's like a part-time job, and it is.
Yeah.
But it gets me in my own little mind frame, stick my bit of music on my podcasts, and I'm in here, and it's...
I mean, speaking to you, you come across like you say that it's not a small thing, but you talk about it as though it's just something you're taking in your stride.
So on one of the allotment pages on social media that I've seen, and it literally says you can only do a foot at a time. There's no point trying to change it all in one day. Just do a foot at a time.
Yeah.
Get there. So yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant mentality. Because if I tried to do all this in one night, I won't be coming home next morning. I'll be fast asleep somewhere in this allotment.
And do you think that's something that you probably would have done in the past? Tried to do it all in one go?
Yeah. I'd have like not self-isolated myself, but just kept myself to myself and just crack on.
Yeah.
Not speak to many people.
Reaching out for help and stuff.
Yeah. But it's...
And has it surprised you how many people actually want to help you?
Oh, yeah. Without doubt. But lads from our companies, let's see if I've got this right. Pretty certain it's Northampton he lives, and he's offered to come up.
Wow.
And I'm just like, fair one, mate.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's... but it just shows how nice people can be.
Yeah.
The humanity in people, how much people just want to help other people, and that's kind of exactly what this talk's about.
Do good to feel good.
Yeah.
It's exactly that, isn't it?
Yeah, people just want to help people.
Yeah. Long term. Where do you see it long term? Let's fast forward 3 or 4 years. What do you see on here?
So I want to have it running every Friday. Part of, obviously, when I'm on holiday, whenever I decide to take them, I just pass the wife the iPad. She tells me when I'm booking the holidays. Because if it were me, I'd keep on working, just forget about holidays.
Yeah.
And funny, so people have a place where they're happy, they're okay to be themselves, to talk about I can't talk about. And that's what I want this entire place to be.
That's what it's all about. It's good to talk.
My end goal would be potentially to try to turn it into a charity. To have multiple locations. But sometimes I'd rather see how it goes before going, oh, do you know what? Let's turn this into a charity. And then I'm like, how do you run a charity? And letting people down that I've not...
Yeah, but those sort of things you pick up along the way, don't you?
Yeah.
No one's expected to know everything from day one, are they?
No.
And I suppose once you get up and running, it might raise other people's eyebrows and think, what's he doing over there? Let's go and help him out, give him a bit of advice, or... Yeah. You know.
Yeah, well,
you'll be surprised of the people that you'll get to network with.
Oh, yeah. I've had one of the local nurseries offer to come up and help when it's all getting ready for planting.
Yeah.
So they're going to help me. Because, considering I've started this, not ever done much gardening.
No?
No. Never before. Obviously, I watched my granddad, who was a massive reason why I joined the forces.
Yeah.
He did his garden were immaculate. So's my dad's. But I'm always labourer. And I just thought, why not? And let's
I suppose you don't really need to be that Alan Titchmarsh sort of figure, do you? Because you're going to have people down here doing it themselves, aren't you? And
they'll know more about this than me.
Yeah. And I think the beauty in some things sometimes is the journey of learning.
Oh, without a doubt. Just learning different stuff. Like even in the time I've had this, I've learnt different ways of how to plant stuff. Like originally, I were going to just plant it straight into here, but instead I'm going to do a no-dig technique, where it's full weed membrane in it. Then you put the planters on, put cardboard, put compost, do it that way.
All right, yeah.
So it's less of a physical demand.
Yeah.
Which is...
And obviously, growing things is pretty seasonal.
Yeah.
Have you got plans for the whole year then, or...?
Yeah, because everyone thinks as soon as it gets winter you can't grow out.
No, yeah.
But there's loads of different stuff you can grow. Won't be able to tell you about off the top of my head. But there's a bit of research. You can find stuff that grows all year round. And that's my thing, aiming to get stuff constantly all year round. As well as stuff that is like pumpkins, Halloween. I want to get loads of pumpkins so I can go down to that community shop and give them pumpkins for kids to carve.
Yeah.
Find different activities and different ways of getting this community together. Which is all I want to do. Make a place where everyone feels like it's all okay to be themselves.
What sort of stuff are you looking for now then? What sort of things are you short of? What sort of things are you needing?
The main thing I need to get is the weed membrane.
Yeah.
Which, like we said earlier, we spoke earlier, I've got a meeting with a trust that's going to help me with that, hopefully, as soon as I get the funds. The pallets that I managed to find a place for them who's going to keep supplying me with pallets. So at the moment it's just getting the grants, and as soon as I get the grants I can hopefully get everything I need.
What if people wanted to donate things to you? There's certain things that you'd look for donations and things?
Oh, I've never thought about that. I should have.
Spades and stuff like
well,
that.
Yeah, because that's something. Because we've got. So I had a message this morning from manager saying that we've got engineers that are going to come over in October.
Yeah.
And the problem is I'm limited to what I've got in my shed.
Yeah.
So all this equipment's whatever I've got in my shed, and it's like 16 quid a fork, 17 quid a fork, and then you've got shears, which mine have decided to go a different shape instead of straight. They go a bit skew width, which makes the cuts very fun. So yeah, if there's any gardening equipment, because currently, whilst it's just me up here, I'm all right with what I've got, but when people come to volunteer and help, I can't always be expecting people to go, can you just make sure you've got your...
Bring your equipment with you.
Yeah. And they're like, mate, I live in a flat.
Yeah.
Don't have a garden. So yeah, if anyone does, there is popped set up an Instagram page for it. So if anyone ever wants to,
you've set an Instagram page up, have you?
Yeah.
What's that at? Where would they find you?
Veterans Allotment.
At Veterans Allotment.
Yeah, I just thought I'd keep it quite
quite
simple.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does what it says on the tin.
Yeah. And like social media's never been my thing.
Yeah.
But I got told kind of need to be on social media for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, fair one.
And have you had any interested parties already? You know, people, veterans, reaching out to you, or...
So when I put it on our local page, I have had veterans that have wanted to come, but just due to, well, the nails, the glass, screws, bolts.
Yeah.
Half a Barbie. Here. Yeah. Weird stuff.
Half a Barbie is in the Barbie doll or a barbecue?
Like, just like missing the head.
Or a Barbie doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That were an interesting find. But yeah, it's I just need to get it so it's a safe place so no one's going to injure themselves. No one's going to get cuts from falling over, end up going on the soil, and we've got a massive gash because of glass caught them.
So do you need insurances and things like that then?
Yeah, I spoke to someone and they said try to reduce the risk. So the reducing the risk is getting as much of this side, because as soon as we get to as soon as we get to that side, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Part one bit, I don't think I've shown you this bit. So as soon as we get, like, this is just all going to be trimmed. This is all been done over, so all the rubbish is over there.
Yeah.
That's easy because that's just soil. Not in that. All you have to do is take the winter stuff. Down there, it's just strimmer again. Obviously, that massive pile of rubbish we've got there, that needs getting away, which we can finally do now. But then just over there, there's a massive mound of broken glass. So as soon as I get that out, I can get people in. I can realistically get people working on that side.
And how do you think you're going to feel when it's done? And you've got nothing else to go at other than overseeing things and...
I'll be kind of happy, sad, all at the same time. Happy that I managed to get something from a crazy idea that I had. That I've had multiple people tell me why you're doing it. So it's running, it's getting people's support. I do also want to get it so it's classed as alternative therapy, social prescribing. So instead of getting people from veterans onto more
antidepressants and stuff.
Yeah, get them out in here.
Yeah.
Get them chatting, get them talking.
Yeah.
There's nothing else better than having a chat.
No, there's plenty of truth in that. There is plenty of truth in that. A lot to be said for just talking, mate.
Talking's helped me. Why can't it help someone else?
Yeah.
Opening up, talking about how they're doing. Not in depth, just chat.
Yeah.
Like you have to any of your mates. That's the long run to hopefully get it. If I can ever get it turned into a charity, I'll be ecstatic. Or the main thing is trying to get it classed so I can do it for alternative therapy and social prescribing to get more people off of dependent on the more normal medicine, the drugs, and more in nature.
Yeah, I think it's great, mate, what you've done.
Definitely does tire you out, though. Definitely does after a bit.
Yeah, but it's good for your brain, isn't it? Like you say, it's good.
Like I said, I come down here after work, do 2 hours, and I just stick a little bit of music on.
Yeah.
I'm in my own world. There's nothing that can affect me whilst I'm here. Found some voles down here yesterday.
Bulbs.
Voles.
Bowls.
Were quite interesting when my wife went, "Oh, don't mind a vole." Do you know what voles are, love? Showed a picture, went, "Not a big fan of voles." Like,
I thought voles were A-E-I-O-U.
Yeah. She definitely got her mind changed when she saw that.
Yeah.
That one.
Right, Josh.
Yep.
Quick fire questions. Quick fire questions! What is your favourite thing to do in the summertime?
Seaside.
Seaside, what? On your own or with family or?
Wife. Either seaside or Yorkshire Dales.
Yeah?
I've got to love Yorkshire Dales. Beautiful.
Question 2. What was your first job?
On paper it was a bottle, glass washer. In reality it was barman.
Yeah.
I'm going back about 14 years.
So they had your pants down with sounds of it. What is the weirdest thing your pet does? If you've got a pet?
Yeah. Ironically, we were on about it earlier. He has a weird smile. So like,
Smile? What you got?
Golden Retriever. He'll go at top of the stairs, hang his paws off, and he'll like pant yet smile at the same time, and it looks a bit creepy. Yeah, definitely.
Smiling dog.
Yeah. Right now he's at home looking at his wounds. He's just had quite a big surgery, so
yeah.
I'll give him that.
How many times a day do you wander into the kitchen?
I'm not even a secret eater, I'm just an eater. I eat more at night.
Yeah.
So I'll make toasties at night, I'll have pot pies at night.
I've got fridge Tourette's. I can't walk past my fridge without opening it.
Yeah.
Even though I've probably just walked past it one way, opened it, then when I'm going back past it, I have to open it again.
Yeah, I'm always looking to see what I can... through day, I barely eat. Well, I say I barely eat. If you ask anyone about me, they'll say you never stopped eating. But I don't think I eat. But then at night, it's trying to hide the fridge from me. Seeing what I can get. A lot of times I eat at night. So at least 6-7 times. But I've not eaten as much as I used to. I used to eat a lot more than I do now.
Yeah.
They were the glory days.
Well, it's been great talking to you, Josh.
Yeah, you too.
It's been nice to see the good work you're doing down here.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best, mate, for everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
See you later.
See you later, mate.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to hit that follow button and join me next time for more chats on Nick Needs to Know.